Hey Josh, got your session here. So what's cool? Bus 5 and 6 down here along this line, bus 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 5 and 6, 5 and 6 going to the parallel compressors right here, which is great. You got one set up for sort of a crushing sound and one a little bit gentler, 4-to-1, medium tech, medium release. So that was set up correctly. You've got... Oh, I thought your guitar sounds... I couldn't read my own writing. Your guitar sounds were really good. I'm a little confused by the balance, but they sound good. I think you picked some tasty distortions through here, playing with those, which was cool. And also the delay sound, what you achieved to that was really cool as far as your tastefulness of where that goes. That's all sounds sweet. What I wasn't a fan of is putting that right on the channel because of this mix knob. Now this changed the volume of your sound, so it really let's just get still in the habit of bussing stuff to that delay. But I think what was really cool is that you put that on its own track, and so that makes sending it to the delay really easy because then all you have to do is you don't have to worry about automating and stuff. So I think that is really good. So I mentioned the balance on the guitars, which is really leaning to the left. I mean, there's some crazy automation. But just listening to the guitars. Oops. Just a second. There we go. Let's get... I forgot to do this to my track. There we go. The balance of the guitars... And you can see over here the master fader is showing us the balance is off. So I don't know if that sounded balanced in your headphones. It sounds a little off in mine, which then leaves the whole mix over to one side. Also, what was interesting or slightly confusing to me is this application. So this snare drum, which is the bottom snare drum, you are bussing it to this compressor, and I'm not sure I understand. So EQ and compression can go right on the channel. That's totally fine. So this won't go over here because you made a stereo bus group, but this is not necessary to bus to a compressor. You can put this compressor right on here. So if that's what you want to do, and then I gotta. So what I'm gonna hit is Command S and solo safe these tracks. Now I can hear the snare. So now it's not doing anything. I don't know if you... I'm going to speed that up a little bit. There we go. Overall, your drums are kind of lost in this mix in the sense that there's just a lot of hi-hat. Now, right here sounds good. Let's put this in the mix. Now, they just get lost. They get swallowed up. So it's always in context. And they sound huge, and the reverb sounds great and everything, but you got to carve space around that. So when we just listen to the whole music again... It might be a volume thing. Let's see what happens if we just bring volume. Okay, so a couple things happen. The sound doesn't really work so well with the whole mix because a couple different reasons. One, that room mic is really sort of boxy sounding. Two, it has more reverb than anything else, so the vocal doesn't have any of that reverb really, and the guitars don't have any of that reverb, so it sounds really out of place. So the drums by themselves sound really good, but in context of everything else aren't fitting so well, and that's really the challenge to see if we can make that work, right? It doesn't matter what the drums sound like itself unless that's the whole song, and that's not the song in this case. So a lot to work on carving that out. So different things you can do. Start finding a similar reverb to add the guitars, and you bussing it to a little reverb. I just don't think it's... there's. So that reverb's on the guitars, but just not enough to compete with the sound of that drum. So always in context. So you've got this bus 7 going to this reverb. Here's another chance where you're bussing to a compressor. If you want to group all those vocals together, you need to do the output. So let's turn these off here. Let's highlight these. I think these are all our lead vocals. So we're gonna turn those off. Route these to a stereo. Let's pick a new stereo group. And then let's pick a stereo aux input. Assign that same input. And then now you can put that stereo compressor. So all the vocals. And you can just hear that's not working so well. Let's hear this vocal. Yeah, that. So let's see if we can find something. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, so we need to still tweak that. So let's roll some of this low end down. I mean the high end. Personally, I'm going to go over and turn that room mic down a little bit. Yeah. Then the other thing I would do is probably send that to some distortion, because you need digression, and that's where that can come into play. So if you wanted to make a new stereo aux track, you could send that to, or just make a mono aux track, send that to, let's do the Sans amp, just for something that's easy. And let's pick, just something nasty. I have no idea what that's going to sound like. Let's pick a bus. Yeah. So you can see like every breath is being brought up. So somewhere in between those two sounds, I think, is what you want to do. I hope all that helps.